What's up, guys? ODST General back again with a long overdue update for, well, I guess it's now Operation Trebuchet, but I'll get into that in a second here. First, I'd like to apologize for how long it took me to actually get this update out. The last update for this mod came out actually a pretty good bit ago, but I just haven't had the opportunity with several updates for other games I've been making videos for, as well as updating my YouTube and Twitch channels. But let's get into it here. Obviously, I'll start off with the thing I just covered, which is it's now Operation Trebuchet. If you watched my last video, you know that the Ardennes Insurrection, as this mod was formerly known as, went through, apologize for my language ahead of time, a shitstorm. And this is what emerged. The project lead at the time, Space Navy, and several of the other developers had basically a disagreement, which I'm not going to get into. And it was decided that basically they would, like almost all the other developers, would continue on with a new mod, and Space Navy would go on, keep his own project, and reform a new studio called Fohammer Studios. So Operation Trebuchet left off where, the Ardennes mod ended. As I stated in my last video, they had talked about doing a hotfix basically that would remove some of the items, add some stuff, and then fix some of the stuff that was currently in the mod from the early release of the second update. So let's get into some of those items. Obviously, if you guys can see here, we have the Hornets in front of me. They are now all textured. Like the Pelican, they come in, black, green, tan, as well as a snow variant, which the Pelican does not have yet. Got our gunner seat here. Passenger seat, right. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's also a thunderstorm brewing behind me. That was pretty loud, and I know my mic likes to pick up about everything under the sun. I just noticed those textures, that's funny. Okay, so we're inside here in our Hornet? God, why did I say Hornet? Sorry about that. We are in our Falcon. Is the one we want. That is the correct term. Gun's looking a good bit better. Okay, so the props are working, propellers. Jet engines look pretty good. Okay, getting into the Pelican. The Pelican hasn't seen any changes as far as I know. We do have the gunner variant still. I haven't actually checked out the guns to see how well they look now as opposed to before. They do have the gunner variant for all the colors of the Pelican, as well as any version of the gunner, but I just have the one on display here because of the size of the Pelican. So we're going to get in the gunner position. Right off the bat. Oh yeah, it's looking much better. Laser markers, got new tab, I think. We're still going for that. Just want to check one thing here real quick. Okay, so it looks like some of the really bad textures were removed. I don't know if these look like they're basically just, placeholder textures, but they don't look as, they actually look a little bit better than what they had before for the placeholders, so that's alright. Now we're going to hop out of here. No new vehicles have been added. Besides, obviously, like I said, the Falcon and the additional versions of the Pelican. Like I said, the last version, if you watch my last video, was the Rocket Hogs and then the transport vehicles. As far as weapons go, this hasn't been updated, but basically, Alright, I'll pull this open here and show you in just a second. Basically, nothing's been added since the last version either. In fact, weapons were removed. So let's get into that some here. Go into our rifles first. Marksman pack is out too since the last release. And some of those look like very sci-fi weapons. If like you go down here to this MAR-10, that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie almost. Bell rifle hasn't seen any updates. I don't think they added the sniper rifle from Halo. I was looking for it, I didn't see it, but I thought they were supposed to be releasing it. Still have the M73. The M247, I believe, is what the other one was. Did get removed. So this is looking a lot better. So yeah, it's the animation's a little bit off still, but I mean, other than that, it has been significantly improved from the version we had before. Like I said, I don't think any other weapons have been added from Halo. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Got a rocket launcher. That's got some changes coming to it, but I'll get into some of the updates coming for the next update here after I finish this video, or this part of the video. Our M7 caseless folded machine gun, that would be the pistol variant, has been fixed up. You no longer have the sliding part for the stock sticking out the back of it. It's now just single shot and 3-shot. I think prior in my last video it had a 3-shot mode too. So now it's just 1-shot and 3-shot. But hey, you can carry around 2 SMGs, so that's all good, right? I'm out of ammo for it. Okay, so going on to uniforms and stuff. Helmets have chin straps. Personally, I kind of liked them without the chin straps, but the chin straps do look good. I will say that, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them. It's so weird to concentrate on this, but it was kind of a joke for a while there with the TEI thing when they got them added. They made a pretty big deal out of it. As you guys can see, this is a white uniform. This isn't actually a medic uniform or untextured. This is the snow camo, as you guys can see. So we have some snow army units in now. We also have additional uniforms. I don't remember how many of these were actually in previously. I don't think it was quite so many. Like, I don't think any of the ones with the any armbands were in prior to this update. I may be wrong. We got like a doctor's jacket here, surgeon's jacket. That's pretty cool. I like that. Like I said, we got snow uniforms, so we got, light and medium. I don't think there's a heavy. I didn't see a heavy at least. We have a classified uniform, which has the ONI, the Office of Naval Intelligence logo on it. I want to actually take off my vest here, vest and backpack and stuff like that to get a better look at this. I didn't look at the vest either. I don't think any new vests were added. Some new carriers with the update, but that's stock Arma stuff. Get rid of our rocket here. So, like I said, it's basically a bunch of jumpsuits were added. So you have the Office of Naval Intelligence uniform. They've got a Navy uniform. And then basically it's just a bunch of variances. So you have like a bridge crew, engineering. These are all basically based off the Halo 1 colors if you haven't played Halo 1. In the newer Halos, these uniforms have significantly changed, and they're basically like padded on the shoulders, and then like everybody's got like one color for the most part. The original Halo, you could tell which area somebody was in by like looking at their uniform, and you could basically figure it out from there, because I think it was partially based off Star Trek uniforms. Engineering, or flight crew, flight fielder, gunnery. Like I said, we've got a whole bunch of these. Another ONI uniform. And they all have the patch for the final Dom, which is the frigate that's in the game. So these are all part of the ship that you place as a placeholder, whatever placeholder. Anyways, so you got all those uniforms. I don't know if any others have changed since then. Not sure if any of these textures or anything have changed, because I know a lot of the there's a lot of work that got put into textures and stuff too since last release. I just don't know how, if any of that's really been changed since then. I can't really remember what they look like because it's been so long. Like I said, no new vest, no new backpacks. Couple new hats here. We've got Final Down ball cap. It's kind of cool, based off U.S. Navy baseball caps, with the ship and the the ship's numbers and stuff. I'm having brain farts. I'm sorry, guys. Deck crew helmets here. Got a few variations of those. You guys, like I said, I showed these off in the last video. I think that was all the hats and stuff that got added as far as that goes. Nothing new accessory-wise, night vision-wise. So that should be everything. I don't think they added any new patches or anything yet either. So that's all the stuff that got added in there. Let's get into some of the other stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of updates too that are yet to be released, so that's the one advantage of me having not recorded this. Let me just check one other thing here just to show off some stuff to you guys, to show you the units that were added. Go to our UNSC units here. So we now have the snow units, special units there. They've fully fleshed out the rest of the devs. And we got our snow units, and basically it's the same units that are in the other army units. For comparison, I think it might be tiny bit shorter. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. It should be the same though. Op 4. You got surgeons and stuff. Just kind of like I said, based off of the new uniforms they added. And we got our Final Dawn, our holotable, all the same things that were in that previous video I had. So let's move it over here. I'm going to now show you guys off some of the work that they're doing here. So I'm going to pause my recording here while I switch from game into showing you guys these images and talking about them. Alright, sorry about the pause there. Okay, so let's go over some of these images and concept art and stuff that I've got here. So up first we have the civilian Gennet. I believe that's the proper pronunciation at least. There's a few images I've left out, but I just wanted to include the two. The first one's kind of a work in progress of it, obviously outside of game. Our second image here is going to be basically the near finalized version of it in-game. Working headlights, transparent, would you call that, roof, I guess? I don't even know what that sort of vehicle. But yeah, that's transparent. You can see, obviously, if you look closely, there is a guy in the driver's seat. It will be drivable. This vehicle wouldn't have been my first choice for the mod just because, obviously there's a lot of off-roading and, dirt roads and stuff in Arma. It's a cool vehicle, though, nonetheless. It looks awesome. And there will be more civilian vehicles later down the road, so it's, it's nice to have that little extra stuff with the civilian vehicles. I'm sure I'll probably joyride around in it or something. I know there's a couple people who want to do a Halo Life mod. Maybe they'll be able to use the assets to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's a civilian vehicle, though. It's seen in ODST, and it's pretty cool looking. Up next, we have a new map they're working on with Bush Lurker called Terebus Island, I believe, or Trebuchet Island, something like that. And it's obviously not the finalized version, so if you're going, oh, well, it's just a couple hills in the middle of an island, there will be more to it, and these pictures aren't really the full map. There's, once again, a couple other pictures I didn't include in here, and, I advise you guys to check out the Bohemian Interactive Studios forums or the Reddit channel for, better updates and a better look at it, just to be part of the community. It is a pretty cool map. It brings back to mind, Silent Cartographer or something like that. And I'm sure that's probably what they're trying to evoke with it a little bit. Looks like it'll be an interesting place to play on anyways. Following that, we've got the remodel of the rocket launcher here. Or it's not a remodel, it's a retexture. Sorry about that. Anyways, we got a retexture of the rocket launcher here. This one's been kind of a point of contention among some people. A few people think it's a bit too shiny. But it looks good to me. We'll see what it looks like in game too, because obviously it's not going to look exactly the same once it's in game. And then depending on, of course, the quality of each person's game, that's going to change some too. So there's just 2 pictures of that for the latest update, or for the upcoming update. Following that, we've got some concept art of the MA3 here. This is nowhere near finished. This isn't in game. This is just some concept art Trooper 226 came up with for the dev team, basing it off of the some pictures of the M2 and stuff. So they're working on, or they're looking at least into getting earlier versions of the MA series in, so like the MA3, the MA2, potentially some other weapons. So potentially look forward to either new assault rifles in the next update or the one after, depending on how things go with this and what they decide to do with the concept art. Looks pretty similar to the one seen in Reach, which I think was the MA37. So that covers most of the stuff. There was one thing I forgot to talk about, and I'll link a video in the description, so I'm not going to get too into it. They're looking at adding some new functionality to the Pelican again. They're going to have a new flight mode, which basically will change the Pelican from a kind of like a little bird type of flight model, which is what it's based off currently, I do believe, to a VTOL flight mode. So that will see the Pelican able to switch flight modes once you get up in the air. You can switch, and it will basically switch from kind of maneuvering mode to where it's just all rear thrusters, and it'll fly forward at really high speeds. I think it jumps up to like 600 miles an hour or something right now. Now, the catch with that is that obviously it's not going to control as well. You're basically, when you're set in a direction, you can steer a little bit, but for the most part, you're going that direction. So you'll have to switch back flight modes to stop and land. But, like they pointed out, if you're really good at it, that means you can get in and out right now really fast if you're a good pilot. So you can get in there 600 miles an hour, switch flight modes, flip around, and, land the Pelican and drop off troops and jet off again. Kind of similar to what you see in Halo 1, where the Pelican comes in, lands, drops people off, and it goes flying off at 600 miles an hour in Halo. The other functionality they're adding to the Pelican is the capability to carry vehicles like you see in Halo. So it's going to, instead of carrying it off of a winch, it's just going to stick them right on the back of the Pelican. Right now there is no physics for that, though, like there is with the winch, so it's hard to say if that will end up seeing functionality or if that's something we're going to have to wait to see later on down the road. I'm going to pause the video here one more time while I switch over and get stuff ready for this next little segment I want to talk about. So give me 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back again. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so I'm going to switch off the topic of Operation Trebuchet, but we're going to stick with the theme of Arma Halo. So while everything was happening in the transition from the Eridanus insurrection to Operation Trebuchet, a new mod formed called the Call of the Prophets. This mod's mainly been run by one guy so far. as far as development goes. He's gotten some assistance from Theronet, who's been taking all sorts of reference pictures for both him and Operation Trebuchet. And then just recently, Scorch revealed that he's been doing a tiny bit of work on the side to help this guy get going. So obviously this is a Covenant-based mod. Right now, since there's one guy, it's not going near the progress or quality that Operation Trebuchet is going, but it is showing some promise, and like I said, being one guy, he's gotten some results, and thankfully he's a modeler, and that's one of the hardest things to find as a modeler and animator, I find, for, most mods. You got all sorts of people who can do config, and they'll come out of the woodwork like crazy. You got PR people and stuff. They're all easy to find, but finding a modeler is one of the tougher things because it is kind of tedious work, and it's something that takes actually some time to learn. Not to say that, configuring and stuff isn't, configuring and scripting isn't hard, but it's not as hard, I find. So right now he's got 2 weapons, partially done for both. Neither are textured, but we have the carbine in an unfinished state, which right now he's got, I guess, what's supposed to be an iron sight on there or something, and then he's doing a version with built-in scope. As far as that goes, there's still a lot of talk on how that should work, because obviously Arma's a much more tactical game, and iron sights are very important to have. Even when you have a scope, iron sights can be an important thing, especially with Covenant weapons. But the problem is that Covenant weapons are designed for Halo, where you don't need iron sights. They're alien weapons, so that on top of that, they're not really thought through of a way of, including iron sights without it looking horrible or, greatly altering the weapon. There's some talk going back and forth on how to do that, like potentially like a holographic sight or something. But right now, the first version on the screen is one without a scope. The second one is a version that's a built-in scope, from my understanding. He does not want to do the scopes as an attachment. Obviously, like I said, neither of these are textured or UV mapped or anything else. I don't know if any more progress has been made on these as far as the carbines go. He's not really shown every single step of the way, because he kind of surprised us with this plasma rifle here. He showed that he had the plasma rifle and that, like the carbine, it hadn't been UV mapped or anything else yet. But then, a few days later, we had Scorch052 of the Operation Trebuchet mod post a video, and I'll post that at the bottom in the description here, of basically the plasma rifle in-game and, working. It wasn't, still wasn't textured or anything, but he had it in-game, and it was firing plasma bolts, and he was showing it off in the virtual reality section of the editor, or Zeus, or whatever it is, and it was working, it was shooting the plasma bolts, and it was killing people. So, like I said, I'll post the link for that in the video. So that's basically, oh, there's one other thing too. I forgot, I was gonna end it, but I forgot about this one. There's one of the, I'll say one other thing like 7 more times. Okay, guys, I hope you don't mind. There is a working counter on the battle rifle now, and they're gonna be working on that for the assault rifle too, I do believe. So there will be a video for that in the description to show that off some. I would assume it's going to be in with the next version of the mod. We'll find out when it gets there. It looks like it's working pretty well though, so I don't know what other changes they'll end up having to make for that. But yeah, it's a cool thing, so I will definitely, like I said, I'm going to definitely post that in the video here to show that off. So we're going to end this here, and we'll call it good, okay guys? So let me just finish this up here. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you liked the update. It tended to be a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but there was a lot of stuff to cover. Make sure to check out Operation Trebuchet if you have not already. It's an awesome mod.